Spotter Studio. Before you drop that $50 per month or $300 founder special per year, let me ask the real question. Is this actually a must-have tool for creators, or is it just another VC-backed app that just paid big YouTubers just to promote it and push it? Because if you dig deep into the Reddit and YouTube comments, you'll see what people are actually saying. So I'm here to bring it all together. In this video, I put my own money on the line to just figure out is Spotter Studio actually worth it? And no, they did not sponsor this video, even though I wish they did. But rather than just tell you what it does, I'd rather just show you through a full walkthrough through their whole product suite and kind of give you like a tour. And then we'll kind of decide, is it actually worth using? Oh, and if you do decide to try it, I'd love for you to support my channel by using my affiliate link. It helps fund these videos, the editors, the thumbnails, and buying more stuff to review. If you do use my link, you'll get a free trial. I think it's about 60 days. So let's dive into a walkthrough. All right, so let's actually dive into Spotter Studio and just see what it does. I'm gonna walk through the main features, react to them in real time, and just figure out whether they're actually useful or not, or if it's just like corny AI generated stuff. So this is our home screen. You can either generate a new idea or workshop an idea. These were some of the things that we're talking about in terms of the mockups. Not bad in terms of mockups, but honestly, like not amazing. Like the price of chasing success, not that great. But it's a cool idea, like in terms of ideas for you. We have an idea bank in development and published and outliers from things that you follow. These are some of my favorite creators that I really look up to because they all have their own vibe. Anyways, that's kind of like the main screen. So let's kind of go into brainstorm and idea generation. I think in terms of like the UX and UI, like it looks really sick. I really like how clean everything looks like. So that's my first things. Let's take this idea of like why most beginners fail at high ticket sales. It's actually a script I'm working on right now, but we haven't done the actual content packaging for it quite yet. So I think that's a great place to start. So let's like workshop this idea. So there's easy refinement. So you can just rephrase it and it'll like be these things. Don't really love these. You can continue. Let's say out of all these, maybe this rephrase. So if it's not that great, we can either continue. And one cool feature is like you can adjust it based off my style or best YouTube practices. So if we go here, let's take a look at these. This is not that great. Let's see YouTube best practices. If we scroll it over here, personally, I'll just keep my own ones. I don't like any of these. So you can just go back and just go back here. So I'm just gonna keep my title. So there's that. With that being said, I can brainstorm the title thumbnails. So we can go out here. Oh, if we go to titles, you can shorten. So let's say if it's above like 55 characters or something like that, you can like go over here. This isn't too bad. Like, so then you can keep the ones that you kind of like. This one's the only good one. So once you have like a good idea, I think it's important to just like maybe change the mood, right? Not feeling any of these. And you always have the option, by the way, if you don't like any of these, you can always generate more. I think I've kind of found my title, but you can always generate more like this. You can also explode. Okay, so it has like different angles: absurd, emotional, future projection, intriguing, truth bomb. I like truth bombs a lot, and then you can also like power it up. So it uses more like power words in your industry, which is interesting. Not a fan of these. Anti-click funnel guru. Oh yes, I just had to zoom out. But you guys get the point. I'm actually just gonna keep my original one, honestly. And then next we can go on to like the thumbnails and we can optimize these. I think they take your current photos. I can't remember how we set this up, but like there's different types of like arts that you can do. You can do concept art, which is what we mostly do. You can do realistic and sketch. So if I do realistic, you can take a look at these. This guy does not look like me at all. Like how does this guy and this guy look? Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Don't really love these, but like we can do variations. So out of all the ones, I probably like this one the most. Actually, I'm going to change it to concept art. Again, not my favorite, and I just keep on going down. My thumbnail designer, he does most of this, so there's probably ways to like make it better. This is what I mean by the ChatGPT vibe, like 3 vibe. But if I go here, the eyes are messed up. Why fail? Why? No, this is bad. Let's go sketch. bit better, but not that great. And then there's hooks too, right? It could be that high ticket sales is like very, very specific, but yeah. So when it looks at hooks, let's continue. Variation. These aren't very great hooks. These are like interesting angles, but they're not like really good hooks, I would say. Let's go and explode. I'll probably do this one. This one's probably very, very like me, so I'll keep this one. So now we have our kind of like our content packaging and stuff. So now this is kind of like what we have. I'm just gonna choose one of these. Not all of these are great, but let's. And then you can just scroll between all these. These kind of suck. Probably I would do something like this. Let's make it more ABB. That's the only angle I like. And this is what I was talking about. When it has an angle that is kind of cool, like I like to expand on it. You just need one idea. This is cool. I like this. So like if we do something like this, this would be really, really cool. So let's go back to a project. This is what the project looks like. And then the cool thing too is like you can use the storyboarding type of stuff. So there's story beats and then you can just generate. So this opens up a new tab. This is going to be like, it's called education. And you can start mapping out the general outline. Now this does not do like general scripting and stuff. Yeah, let's do this one. So that will be our goal. What's the theme or message? You can add it and like heart it too and generate more. Don't love this, but we're gonna add it to our theme or message. And you can have multiple ones too. Let's now do the hook of the video. So the original hook from previously is more like a kind of like the video concept or idea. Yeah, let's do this as a hook. Let's do challenges. I think this is most likely me. Obstacles. Let's generate more. These kind of suck. You can just click for more ideas. Let's do this one. Climax. Let's do this. Cool. And now let's add this as a final thing. So this is kind of the resolution. So now we have like all the different things and you can kind of copy this and then put it into your Notion or something like that. If I want to change it, let's make this into a comedy sketch. I wonder what this does. Keep my selection. I have to start from scratch, that's fine. And so it has different things based off the type of video. So that's one cool thing, it's very customized for that. Okay, so that's kind of like the brainstorming thing. I think honestly, like there's some cool video like things like the thumbnails and stuff. The titles kind of fell short, to be honest with you. And it felt very ChatGPT 3 and the thumbnails very felt like DALL-E where it's like the eyes are slanted in. I didn't really like that. But it doesn't really, it kind of understands what I look like, but it's just like, it just feels like AI, kind of AI trash. But again, the really cool thing is like you can use power, you can change the sentiment like of the mood of the thumbnails and stuff and titles. I think that is really, really cool. So yeah, that's kind of workshop an idea. So if you don't have an idea, you can choose any one of these ideas, which isn't that great. Like these aren't bad, but they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad, honestly. I would not choose any of these ideas. There's a surprise me thing. Let's take a look at it. When we look at the ideas, how I manage time, that might be an interesting one. So it makes it really easy just to, like, if you can't tell, like it's really, really easy. If you just spend a little bit more time to like just do these, you'll eventually get something for your channel. Like these, like the things I don't like about these are just way too broad. So it's not that great. You can sort by title strength and it's just okay for a lot of these. So yeah, that's why I still use other tools like Creator Hooks and stuff like that because they're probably way, way better. You can see like what we're trying to do. My thumbnail designer, he kind of does like mock-ups and stuff through this. So my thumbnail designer like puts in the final things here and all that. And we can just see what the thumbnail kind of looks like as well. We have different options. So like you can tell like my thumbnail designer, this is why I have a thumbnail designer. He uses these and stuff like that to like before making it and stuff. So it's really helpful for my thumbnail designer. But yes. And then you can put everything in like published and stuff like that too. So yeah, just really, really interesting. And we have all our kind of like data for our channel over here. And so you can filter out like the best things and all that sort of stuff too, and tags and all that sort of stuff. So it makes it really, really easy. I think it's pretty much the same data like from like regular YouTube, but it's easier to filter out through your own data right over here. Okay. Let's go into the next part. Let's talk about outlier analysis. So one of the biggest selling points of Spotter is that it analyzes top performing videos and help you spot trends before they blow up. Kind of like 1 of 10, it allows you to organize by shorts and videos. You can do grid, but then you can actually sort from, do an outlier index. So like this is the average amount of view, like 2x means like 2x the normal amount of views. You can sort by upload date, which is really helpful, subscribers, views, duration and stuff. And you can also hide kid content, which is the Gideon thing I was talking about too. So there's that. And then you can just start scrolling and stuff, and then you can either follow channel or like brainstorm based off your channel. So I think this is probably a way better. Maybe let's say I'm feeling motivational content, I can brainstorm. Don't like any of these are kind of trash. Let's choose another one. And that's what I'm saying. I can like do this all with a click. So I really like the idea of just being able to do things with just a click. It's really nice. This is what my audience is actually watching, which is really cool. And you can like go into different things, right? So maybe, let's say I want to do this one. I can brainstorm it. Dark side business, I might do this. Master your first big sale, might be interesting. But these are cool, like, and you can save these, right? The next thing you can look at is like the follow creators. So if you go into your settings, you can see like all the creators that you follow. They also have an experimental thing too as well. Oh yes, and when you first start, you can add your face and all that sort of stuff. So it has all that. And I'm following 11 different creators right now, so that's pretty cool. So this is what they use to generate the thumbnails. It's just okay. But anyways, yeah, so this is where you kind of source everything. So if I go back home, go to outliers, then follow creators. Maybe I'll do something like this and do a brainstorm. Not a big fan of these. Brainstorm. So one of the things is that everything is based off like sales and stuff. Let's kind of do this. This is not bad. I might keep this one. We'll do more of these. Not a big fan. So yeah, then there's also like newest outliers. So you can see the outliers that are up and coming and stuff too. They might not be related with your niche, but you can get inspired by that. So again, it kind of falls into the same thing where it's like entertainment channels and stuff too, and sports and stuff. It doesn't really relate, but I think, yeah, let's do this one. This one's really, really interesting. This might be interesting. I almost quit high ticket sales. This needs a bit of work because it seems like super off right now. And then it'll like outline my videos and stuff too. So yeah. If you can't tell, we don't really use this too much to plan, but hypothetically you could just like do something like that and you can drag it over, but we don't use it. And then there's the idea canvas. And it's kind of cool where you can also like see what your audience is watching. So a lot of my audience watches like some entrepreneurial content, but it's not that great. Show outliers, and then you can just expand on these ideas. So you can use this to like get ideas. I think the most interesting part like is like you can have it generate more, which is cool. Let's do this one because it's personal development. I like this. So we can exploit this. Not that great. Like again, it's kind of like PC stuff. There's also a lot of new like tools like Trends Spotter, which is really interesting. You can filter it by like what your audience is watching. So a lot of them watch Soft White Underbelly. I don't watch this channel. I don't know what it is. There's a lot of weird shit sometimes my audience watches. But then like, for example, if there's something that's really interesting, I can just see the outliers and stuff and just see what they're watching as well. So that's another thing that you can do. There's also Title Roulette. I've actually never seen this in my life, but let's try it out. And then you can actually change it. So maybe I'll do newbies. Maybe this isn't good, but like you can do a wildcard spin. Yeah, it's not good. So hit or miss, honestly. In terms of outliers, I think it does do an interesting job at kind of like filtering things and makes things easier to like track. Like I find it way easier, and I find like following fellow creators that I get inspired by is way more helpful than the outliers that they generate. Because it's like, if you can't tell, it's all political stuff and all this other stuff that I don't really watch, right? And some of these things are really interesting to see what my audience is watching. I think that is really, really cool. But like, let's compare it to just like going on the trending tab, for example. Like it's cool to just have it's cool to have a tool to kind of filter things. But if we compare it to a trending tab or like my personalized feed, right? I don't know, I'm getting Thai stuff. I don't even speak Thai. It's probably because I'm in Thailand right now. But you can see like these title ideas are just like way, way, way better and stuff like that. You know, like I find myself clicking on certain things and just like being really interested in certain things too. Like I think this is much better than what Spotter has. But then I think it's really interesting, like the insights that you can't get our audience watched, and just a feed where it just puts all your favorite creators in one place, right? So yeah, I think if I were actually to do actually use Spotter for the outlier tools, I would just probably go and follow creators, and then pretty much kind of use a formula for this to inspire my next video. So yeah, let's talk about project management for a second, because Spotter Studio says it's not just about ideas, but it helps you plan and manage your videos. So let's go into a calendar and just take one of these projects, right? Let's take this one. We'll do it as a state. We can view the project and just keep everything organized. Like I said, one cool thing is that everything is here. So if I do story beats and kind of like the idea and all that sort of stuff, like it's all in one place, which is really, really dope. And then since I have 3 licenses, I can add 2 other people. So maybe my writer and thumbnail designer to help me kind of like have access to this and see what's going on. Now let's compare this to like my actual like thing where it's like, you know, I'm so bad at keeping things organized, but I have like a Kanban board of everything that I have and stuff like that. So I'd rather just keep everything here and just like have all my scripts and all that in just one place and all my links. I probably would not use Spotter's project management because I just don't find it that useful. It's cool to see everything on a calendar, but like since I have everything on Notion and it's custom built, it's fine. And we can do the target publish date, which is right now is March, but like we plan to do this like back in December and stuff. So that tells you how bad I am at project management. But yeah, I would probably use Notion over this. So I would say the biggest final thoughts I have with kind of Spotter and just going through it is that the outlier analysis is really useful for seeing what my audience watches and what my the fellow creators I look up to are doing. So that's one really great thing. The other great thing is like being able to come up with multiple ideas. The titles and stuff aren't that great. The thumbnails are okay, but I would not use them as a final thumbnail thing. Just like if you're having trouble or brain farts about like how to structure a video, I think it'd be really, really cool to kind of get the story beats before scripting out a video. In terms of the biggest downsides, I think like the ideas are kind of like a bit generic. I feel like there's a lot of features that need to be fleshed out, but they don't all work that well. And it definitely does not replace like Notion or ChatGPT workflow too. My ChatGPT workflow is like pretty solid and stuff. But anyways, those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts about Spotter Studio? Let me know, drop it in the comments, and I'll see you guys later. Peace, my people. Bye.